doing what you normally would do as a cylinder for a mug, right? Now this is still pretty thick and the rim's thick, right? At this stage, if I know I'm going to make a bottle shape, I'll push in at the base and then I'll start to push out and away. Now notice the body of the pot is smaller than the rim, and I'm throwing that form under the rim. You're never going to be able to make a successful vase or bottle by making the whole thing round and then trying to choke it back in. It's not going to happen. By that time, the outside edge has gotten too thin and too wet, and if you start doing this, it'll wrinkle, right? So you leave the rim strong, you throw the round form under the rim, and keep that as small as you can possibly keep it. The other thing you can do to make a piece stronger while you're working on it is once you've made that belly part of the form, get in here with your rib, drag it along like a squeegee, refine the shape, by taking that slip off the surface, and that'll stiffen the pot up and help it maintain that shape better. Then before you close it in any, get in there and get it. If there's a puddle of water in there, get it out. Then you take the strong rim that you can really push around still, and you begin to use 4 points, your thumbs and your middle fingers, or these 2 fingers, and try to have as little contact with it when you're choking it in. It's better than trying to wrap your whole finger and thumbs around it and clinch it, because that creates too much drag on the pot and it'll start to twist. So then this has gotten thicker because I choked it in. Then I can start here in the shoulder and pull up and towards the middle. Now you could leave it right like that and flare that out a little bit at the top, and it wouldn't be a bad vase. Does anybody know the difference between a vase and a vase?
Just how you say it. No. Or is one thicker?
Huh?
Is one thicker than the other?
No.
A vase is from
A
France.
vase costs more than $100 and a vase costs less. And when you say vase, you have to hold your pinky out. That's the only distinction. All right, so now I've thrown that up and it's thinner again. Make sure this is nice and wet, and you can get in here with 2, 3, or 4 points and choke it in some more.
That is so cute.
Now at this point, you have to decide what that top is going to look like. Got a nice little round bottle form, and I'm going to close this in with the rib on the top. Try to stiffen the shoulder up a little bit to keep it from collapsing. And usually when you're choking them in, they'll get a little bit off center, like this one obviously has. And then you have to decide if you want it to be tall or flare out like a trumpet, and that's just a question of personal taste. So you can make it tall and then get it wet and choke it in. And you can make it taller. So you can just keep right on going with it. Also, this is the same way you make a spout, like for a teapot. Is you would just have a big lump of clay on here, and you'd open it up just enough for the top, and you'd throw up a spout form that's real skinny, and then just cut it off and make another one, and cut it off and make another one. But anyway, then I usually smooth out the lip, and you can take it like this, or you can, what I usually like to do is make them trumpet shaped on purpose. I just think it's sort of like putting a period at the end of a sentence. If it's just a straight cylinder, it's kind of artsy-fartsy, but not everybody understands what you're up to if you do it that way. And it's just a question of looks and what you like and what you prefer. And let's see. Nice part about bottles is that form supports itself pretty well. I used to do demos for kids, especially when my kids were elementary school. I would always do a demo for their class. And my daughter always liked it and thought it was a big deal. She was the younger of the two. And my son was so busy being cool, he was always embarrassed when I did a demo. But one of the things we do is I'd throw a bottle